We don't want to stand in the way of appropriate innovation, particularly including digital innovation. But we think that something like that, which is purporting to be money, would need to be appropriately regulated.
Yes, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. In today's video, I have 5 main news stories to share with you that you need to know if you hold crypto, including adoption from Sony. They've just filed a trademark, as well as Jerome Powell just spoke about regulation. I want to share this with you, plus lower cap altcoin news involving adoption and much, much more. So like always, check the timestamps down below, hit the like button, and let's jump in, starting with Sony. Sony Music files a trademark application for NFT authenticated music. So obviously Sony is an American music giant, and this filing also covers music and artists under the Columbia Records logo as well. So I guess Sony owns Columbia, and Columbia does represent a lot of artists. And what this trademark will now allow Sony to do with NFTs in the Metaverse. This application covers audio and video recordings featuring live musical performances authenticated by NFTs, meaning Sony wants to be able to release their IP, their artists in the Metaverse, i.e. Ethereum, i.e. Cardano, Solana, whatever Metaverse they choose. The application also covers marketing services, promotion, distribution, marketing, advertising, and online entertainment, including podcasts and audio-visual recordings. So notice what's happening here. Even though we're in a bear market, even though prices continue to trend lower, Sony realizes that this metaverse, crypto, is not going away. And now with this, Sony is taking the obvious next step. Very bullish long term. And next, quick piece of news for GameStop before we get to Jerome Powell speaking about regulation. As of yesterday, GameStop doubles down on crypto amid a new partnership with FTX US. So what are the details, and what does this mean to you as a crypto investor? In a September 7th statement, the gaming retailer noted that the new partnership will introduce GameStop's customers into the FTX ecosystem, including its marketplaces for digital assets, while also seeing the retailer become FTX's preferred retail partner in the United States. So essentially, this is GameStop going all in, not just online with their NFT marketplace, but all in the retail stores as well. The partnership will also see certain GameStop retail stores carrying FTX gift cards. And as of August 31st, there are almost 3,000 GameStop stores across the US. So essentially, you will be able to buy crypto at any GameStop retail store, or at least a gift card to FTX, where then, of course, you would go buy crypto. In a direct quote from GameStop CEO, he said, "The deal we just announced with FTX is a byproduct of our commerce and blockchain team working hand in hand together to establish something unique in the retail world." So, again, even though prices continue to trend down, these long-term thinkers, these corporations are taking out their positions, forming their partnerships today, thinking long-term. And next up, let me share with you this clip of Jerome Powell on CNBC recently, where he's asked point blank, hey, is your regulation going to ruin crypto, or are you going to allow it to thrive in the US? Jerome Powell, what is your mindset? Listen to Jerome Powell explain why he loves stablecoins, why he loves cryptocurrency backed by the dollar, stablecoins, and then after his general updated thoughts on the entire market. This is about a 2-minute clip. Watch the whole thing, and then after, I want to share with you my thoughts. Watch this.
There's a long history of government and regulation thwarting such innovation and experimentation, which we find really disappointing. So I wonder if you could respond to these kinds of concerns, namely that regulators might ultimately strangle crypto to the extent that it really does develop into a viable alternative system.
So I'll talk about it in 2 pieces. One is unbacked cryptocurrencies as such, and those have not and don't appear to offer, have not offered and don't appear to offer much in the way of public interest in using them as payments. Let's say it's not a great store of value. What it is a speculative asset. It's not backed by anything.
There could be an argument that that's still during the development phase, and that it's something that we could see emerge. But
Yes.
be that as it may.
And I also have close-in family members who offer that perspective vigorously. So, as you suggest, but stablecoins is a different thing. And the question is, are there forms of private money like stablecoins which can play a role in our financial system, which would and the answer is, of course, that we don't want to stand in the way of appropriate innovation, particularly including digital innovation. But we think that something like that, which is purporting to be money, would need to be appropriately regulated. And I hear that wide agreement on that, by the way, from a lot of the stablecoin companies now are seeing that as part of getting to a place where they are a legitimate part of the financial system. So I think you need regulation. If people are going to think something is money, then it needs to actually have the qualities of money. And if it doesn't, then you don't want. I don't think you want to take money and make it into just another consumer product where sometimes it fails and sometimes it's good. You want it to be guaranteed to be good. If the public's going to look at it like it was a dollar, you want to have clarity, transparency. You want to have full reserves of very liquid, high quality assets, and things like that. That's all. So I think that we need legislation on this. Just it's typical of technological innovations. There isn't a regulatory framework that really gets after payment stable coins.
Okay, let me share with you my thoughts on this. And it comes down to 3 main points. Number 1, regulation is inevitable. If you want mass adoption, then regulation is going to happen. And the fact that we're talking about regulating but not ruining, to me, is bullish long-term, because that will lead to big, big money entering the space once they get that clarity. So I like that. Number 2, my general thoughts on this is, with stablecoins specifically, the regulators can go hard on regulating that. I think we saw with the collapse of Terra Luna, it would make sense to have some general rules on what you can call a stablecoin and what's not actually stable. So yes, to me that makes sense. And number 3, what many other channels won't talk about, but I will. In many ways, stablecoins are that quote-unquote killer dApp we've all been waiting for. And for perspective, back in the days of the internet existed for like a decade before anybody actually started to use it, because we were waiting for the killer apps at that time, just basic applications, to be invented. For example, nobody used the internet until Gmail was invented, or Google or AOL or Yahoo, till the applications were actually there to use it. Then the people flocked in. With crypto today, we're waiting on that killer dApp to bring in the masses. Now, you could argue that maybe it's NFTs, maybe just the store of value of Bitcoin in general is that killer dApp. But if/when the US finally regulates their stablecoin, forms the digital dollar, that's going to put a cryptocurrency wallet in the pockets, in the hands of every single American. Everybody will all of a sudden have an Ethereum wallet. Understand, well, how is a stablecoin different than Bitcoin? Well, one has a fixed supply, one's finite, controlled by no central party, and the other is still controlled by the Fed. That might be the killer dApp, because it instantly brings adoption of a crypto wallet to everybody. Anyway, enough of my rant. Be sure to like the video, by the way, and give me your thoughts down below. Do you agree, or do you disagree with me or Jerome Powell, or just your general take on this situation? And next piece of lower cap altcoin news, the NBA to develop an NFT-based fantasy basketball game with Sorare. So this is huge because the NBA has such a big audience. I'm personally a Laker fan. Go Lakers. We'll see how they do this year. But the U.S. Basketball League and its players union, the National Basketball Players Association, announced a multi-year partnership with the Paris-based company. In a statement on its website, Sorare becomes the official NFT fantasy partner of the NBA. And this is basically like any fantasy game you play with your friends, fantasy football, fantasy basketball, or in this case, with NFTs. The fantasy game will involve users creating a lineup of NFT-based collectibles representing NBA star players who earn points based on their real-life performances. The game will be released in time for this next season in October. So great for adoption, great for the NBA. And next piece of news for ApeCoin in their DAO, as well as the DAO's foundation. There's 2 entities that control ApeCoin. ApeCoin DAO's Ape Foundation recently submitted a proposal to extend their own tenure by 3 months. So the people in charge of the foundation want to stay in power for at least 3 more months. And according to the foundation's proposal, not extending beyond September 30th will put the DAO in danger. They say if they're not voted back in, the DAO would fall into a vulnerable period during which it lacks actionable operational procedures. However, many Bored Ape Yacht Club members are questioning this proposal, especially as the foundation members were each paid $125,000 for 6 months of service. So do these Ape Foundation members just want to keep getting paid? Or is it actually a danger if they take the foundation out of there and ApeCoin would then just be, again, controlled by the DAO? I don't know. I thought this was interesting, though, because it does show the benefits as well as the negatives of decentralization. For example, why does ApeCoin need both a DAO to make decisions and also a foundation to make decisions? Well, one of the benefits of the foundation, way more centralized, and they can make actionable decisions much faster. It's like if you want to pass a law in the US versus China, man, it takes forever to get through the legislative system, checks and balances to pass a law in the US, as opposed to a centralized figure in China. They can pass it immediately. Now, I'm not saying the foundation is a dictatorship. I'm just saying the foundation was much more centralized, and that was a benefit to ApeCoin as well as a detriment to the decentralization of the DAO. The cool thing is it is up to the community, the ApeCoin holders decide. So we'll see how this plays out. All right, that is the video. My name's Austin. Like always, see you tomorrow. And big rest in peace. Thoughts go out to our English audience. The Queen obviously passed away this morning. If you are a part of our English or just European audience, give me your thoughts down below. Just know we're thinking of you, and see you tomorrow.